Hello, thank you for joining me. My name's James and today I'm going to tell you everything there is to know before you start a blog. I'm going to tell you this because millions and millions of blogs, they just fail because people don't have a plan, people don't have the patience, and people don't know how to grow a blog. And I get it. We all go in, we're all excited, we all want to just write and we all want to make some money as well, but it leads to failure. And that's where I come in. And the reason why I can do this is because I've been blogging for years. I started off with just a small blog about health and fitness and trying to get fit before I got married. And I managed to monetize that through selling Fitbits on there. It was fantastic. And as well as that, I started creating a new blog about theatre and again managed to monetize it. But I also managed to grow an audience in a way I've never done before. And I still blog today, blogging about business and building my own authority around a subject, and it literally changes everything. If we're ready to start, there's one thing I want you to do for me, and that is just to go down a bit, just go down and just hit that subscribe button because it means so much to me. And if you like what you hear, also click on the like, but go subscribe, there's more of this to come. All done? We're ready to begin? Fantastic. So let's get into this. I'm going to start from the basics. What is blogging? Well, a blog literally means a web log. And it started back in 1994 where people used to write things down like a journal or a diary, but that's expanded now. And this blog, now are people like us who want to write down things and share things that interest us, things that we're passionate about and things we know, and we want that to become like a hobby and even a source of income. So blogging's come a long way since 1994. In fact, a quarter of the internet are blogs. That's a lot of the internet. So I'm going to touch upon what you need to blog. Okay, let's get this done. You need a computer, laptop or a smartphone or a tablet, something you can type on. Got it? An internet connection? Brilliant. There's one other thing that you need, and it's probably just as important as an internet connection and a way to actually blog. You need patience, and people don't really tell you about this. You can speak to all these influencers you like, but patience is what makes success. I'm going to level with you right now. You're not going to make loads of money and get loads of views tomorrow. You need patience and you need my advice. So, computer, internet, patience, let's go. So we're going to talk about topics, and I'm going to use the word niche a lot. And a niche is basically a topic, but we like to use the term niche to mean a topic that's been really drilled down, is really specific. So if I was talking about movies, for example, I won't just be talking about movies. I think that's too broad. So with topics, I niche down a bit. So I niche down and maybe I'm talking about romantic comedies. Maybe that's too big as well. So maybe I go to directors. So let's go to Gary Marshall, who directed Pretty Woman and Princess Diaries and films like that. There's a niche, there's a way to start. So you get your topic, and I want you to start with your topic as big as it needs to be. And then I want you to niche down, and if you can, niche down, and if you can, niche down. You don't have to stay right down there, but when you niche down, eventually you can niche up. So in my example, we've gone right down to Gary Marshall movies. And then one day I become the biggest authority just talking about Gary Marshall movies. Google loves it because people search for Gary Marshall and they find my site. They know I'm the guy to talk about Gary Marshall movies. So then I'm going to expand. I want to go back up. So when I do this, I start talking about Gary Marshall movies. I've already spoken about Pretty Woman. I've probably already spoken about Julia Roberts. And then now I'm going to talk about maybe Erin Brockovich. Okay, not a Gary Marshall movie, but I'm kind of niched up. I'm going to talk about how well it did at the Academy Awards. Wait a minute, I'm now talking about the Academy Awards. I'm now talking about mainstream films at a much larger scale. And Google are going to give me a big thumbs up because they know I know what I'm talking about. When I was down there just talking about one subject, They knew I knew my stuff and people were coming to me. We talk about Google search later, but niche down, get your topic, we're done. So now what do we need? We need your name. What are you going to call your blog? Right, okay, thinking caps. Now there's two camps when it comes to this. There's camp one who are over here and they go, you need to have your topic in your name because Google likes it more and it's fantastic. Then you've got other people over here who go, well actually no, it doesn't matter because Google doesn't mean a thing, and Facebook, what is that, and what's a Twitter? These websites that don't relate to what they're doing. And they're right. Where do I sit? I sit on the fence. I don't think there's any benefit doing it either way. The only thing is, if you're gonna call your website chocolate and it's a weight loss website, it's gonna make no sense and people's heads will explode. So I say, if you want something that has nothing to do with your niche, make sure that it is just gonna still fit, even if it's just a random word or something. But if you are gonna name after a topic, make sure you give yourself room to grow. Let's talk about Gary Marshall one more time. Gary Marshall, if I call my website the Gary Marshall Fan Blog, and then I start talking about Academy Awards and other films, it's not gonna let me grow. So if I name my blog around movies, at least I can talk about that, and then eventually when I niche up, I can speak more broadly about whatever I want in the movie industry, and you should think about that as well. So we've got the topic and name. Now we need a place for your blog to live. Right, so you've got three choices. You can either host it on some sort of social media platform, and I don't mean Facebook, so we'll put that here. Here we'll call hosted platforms, and right here we'll put self-hosted platforms. So let's go back to social media. The site's called Tumblr and Medium. These are two examples, and side note, any website that I do talk about, I put it in the description, so don't worry about having to catch up and write it all down or pause in or anything like that. So anyway, back to this. So you've got Tumblr and Medium. These websites are designed specifically for blogs. You can write on there, they're searchable on Google, and that's where blogs live. Now, some say they're maybe becoming a bit outdated and they don't give you the room to grow like other websites do, but they are an option, especially when you're first starting out. Tumblr's fantastic. It's got a good search place so people can find your blog, and it's definitely worth your consideration. Make sure you check them out. Now, when I go to hosted websites, I'm talking about two specific ones here, WordPress.com and Blogger. Now, I'm going to mention WordPress.com, and a bit later I'm going to say WordPress. If I refer to WordPress.com, I mean a hosted platform where your blog can live. If I just mention WordPress by itself, I mean a website builder. It's confusing, I'm sorry, I try not to mention WordPress too much and stick to WordPress.com, but it does get confusing. Let's get back to it. WordPress.com and Blogger, they're two platforms where you can create a blog and customize that blog very similar to how a website is. The only problem is you can't have a website domain name like ilovemovies.com. If it's on WordPress.com, for example, it will be ilovemovies246911742.wordpress.com. And it's very similar with Blogger as well. Now with WordPress.com, you could pay some money and get a domain name and have that and live on that platform. Both of these are great starter platforms. They're free and they're searchable again on Google without you having to do anything. So they're two platforms definitely worth considering, especially if you're starting out, because what a lot of people do, and we'll go over to self-hosted in just a second, but what a lot of people do is start off with self-hosted, try and build their own website, try and get a domain name, then they think that's all rubbish, actually I want a different domain name, but now they've already paid for this, and it all gets a bit messy. Maybe it is worth living in one of these two until you get yourself a bit comfortable. The only downside is you can't just transfer over, you need to literally copy and paste, transfer over, and you lose your traffic and your traction. So there's some decisions to make here. Anyway, let's go to self-hosted. Self-hosted is your own website. You could have ilovemovies.com, ilovemovies.co.uk, ilovemovies.net, ilovemovies.org, or whatever you want. This is where the real business happens. You get full control over your website, but you do have to pay for a domain name, and to register that domain, you do have to pay for web hosting, and I will put some suggestions down there. And with web hosting, it's like paying rent to live on the internet. But on the plus side, you get to do what you like. You can build your own website, and if you build your own website, you can customize that and you can grow it however you want. Building your own website may be a bit daunting, but don't worry, there are templates and there are ways of doing it, and there's a lot of good YouTube tutorials like this one. So if you have done that, you can also customize it with plugins, and this is where I'm going to mention WordPress, not WordPress.com. WordPress is where a lot of the internet is built, and it's a way of building your website, and for us beginners, you can build them through templates. Have a look, it's not as daunting as you may think right now. One thing with self-hosted websites is you don't automatically end up on Google or Bing or any search engines like that. If you are self-hosting, make sure if you're on WordPress, you download a plugin called SEO Yoast or Yoast SEO, and that will help you go through the ways of adding your website to Google. You can do it another way, just go into Google and Search Console, and that will explain it there for you. But you need to do that so you are searchable on Google. It won't happen for a couple of days, even a bit longer, but make sure you do that step. Have you got it? So you choose where you are, where you want to live. Okay, got it? Got it. Moving it fast here. I want just to ask you one more time, maybe once more at the end, we'll see. But please, come on, please subscribe. It really, really makes a difference. If you've already got a website name, why don't you drop it in the comments? Why don't you ask a question, or just let me know what your topic is right now. So right now, comment, like, subscribe. Brilliant. We're going to move on now, and what I want you to do is start thinking about writing your post. You're thinking about it? You got it? Writing your post. Now, this is important and it takes preparation. So when you write a post, you first need to look for keywords. You're going to hear this a lot in any other discussion about creating a blog. Keywords helps with SEO, which is search engine optimization, or how you found on Google. Now, there was a time where you could just have your keyword as movies, and maybe you'll pop up somewhere on Google. That's not going to happen anymore. A quarter of the internet are blogs. So what you need is a keyword phrase. So you need to really get to know the audience you're writing for. For example, if your audience is going to ask a question on your topic, what would that question be, and how would they write that in Google? Think about that. You've now got a title to your blog post. The reason why you use that is because it's searchable, it's different from what other people are writing, and if someone types that into Google and then it comes up as a search topic, they're more likely to click on it because it's exactly what they're looking for. That's how you find people using search. Now, with search, it's a long game. Search engine optimization can take months to actually come into effect. So you're already down the road of blogging, complaining that you haven't got enough views, and then all of a sudden the search engine optimization starts kicking in and Google's really caught up, and then you start getting those views. So keywords, keyword research, and this is a great way to also get your topics. If I'm writing about Gary Marshall movies, what Gary Marshall movies have won Oscars? I can write a blog post about that, and if anyone types that into Google and that shows up, people are going to go, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to say this, and it's another key element. So I've already said patience, but this one is almost as important. You need to write for your audience, especially at the beginning. It sucks, I know, but you want to write about some amazing things, and you can, but you also need an audience. So you need to write, just like we talked about SEO, you need to write about exactly what your audience wants to know. Write for your audience. And then it comes to the actual writing itself. So it needs to have a structure, it needs to be well researched, it needs to be a bit different, but it also needs to be have a point to it. So I'm going to contradict myself because I'm doing a video right now about blogging. If you were writing about blogging and I'm doing everything you need to do, you could actually break that down into about 5 different posts. So instead of just doing everything you need to know about blogging, you could do setting up your website, you could do SEO, you could do one on writing a blog post. Have you got it? So think of your point and make sure that point is the theme of the whole post. That people like to read to a point. And there's some excellent free ways in which you can succeed with writing your blog post. So let's first talk about SEO and keyword research. There's a website called Uber Suggests, which gives you a number of free ways you can do some keyword research. It's very limited for the free package, but it doesn't matter. It's a good place to start. Again, the link will be in the description, and that will help you pinpoint some fantastic keyword phrases. And then you want to check your grammar. You've pressed F7 if you've got a keyboard and it's come up with spell check. But if you want to take that even further, there's a great website called Grammarly. Grammarly will check your grammar, your spelling, and give you new suggestions in a way that's completely different than the generic spell check. You can check your tone if you want to be friendly, if you want to tell a story, and it really matches up. Grammarly is fantastic and a complete lifesaver for me. And if you want your site to look fantastic and your posts to really stand out, there's a website called canva.com. And I may mention this a bit further down because you can use it to make social media posts, but it's a really good tool to make fantastic artwork for your blog. Canva.com is a lifesaver. So you've got your topic, you've written your blog post, and now we need to get some eyes to it. Now we've already talked about search engine optimization, we've got our keywords, but we've got a couple months until that actually happens. We don't want your work to go to waste. So what we need to do now is build a community and some fans that are going to start coming over to your website. And if you haven't started your blog, these are some stuff that you could actually put into place now. So the obvious one is social media. The thing we all seem to do straight away is we decide we're going to start a blog and we put together a Facebook like page, a Twitter profile, an Instagram page, and then maybe a Pinterest one because it's an easy way to get some people to your website if you do it right. But then we spend this time doing this, but then we're stuck with 25 likes on our Facebook page because all we've managed to do is get our friends and family to like the page. On Twitter, it sits nowhere and we're just doing the same hashtags and sending out the same information and nothing happens. And Instagram is a hard graft if you're just sending out posts because you can't even add links to it. That seems to be the same story for everyone. So here's my advice on each platform. Pinterest. Only use Pinterest if it's relevant. Pinterest is fantastic because you can get good images and use canva.com and put good information and link it. Pinterest takes a lot of time, but if successful, it can drive people to your website. Problem is, it doesn't work for all niches, and if you have a niche that's slightly different than a lot of kind of photogenic ones, make sure you're creating content that people want. Using canva.com, you can create infographics and other content like that, but Pinterest is a harder game, but if you play around with it, you can really get something fantastic. The good thing about Pinterest is it doesn't really matter about time when you're posting, and I know some people would disagree with that, but it doesn't matter as much. But it's not the one I would spend my time on. I would now cross over to Instagram. Now, Instagram's great for creating a personality, and that's what you need to do, create a personality on Instagram. But the value of Instagram is not actually just about the photos you post. The value of Instagram, and it's going to be similar to Twitter, what I'm going to talk about in a second, is being able to search hashtags and find accounts where people are having conversations. and you need to jump in and build relationships using those conversations. If you see something you like, don't just write, "That's nice, great picture." If you write a comment which adds value, you could get that person now coming over to your page to check you out or continue in the conversation. Another way to use Instagram in a way not as many people are, especially in the blogging space, is going into direct messages and not advertising or spamming. Instead of writing a comment, you could go into the direct messages and tell them how much you like their post and what it means, and again add value to that comment. They will then respond to you and you can start creating a dialogue. This sounds like a lot of work, but when you're starting out in blogging, it is a lot of work, I'm sorry. But Instagram's greatest strength when you're starting out isn't just posting and hoping people like. It's about really diving in and getting to know other people who either are interested in the same thing you're doing or posting, or post similar things to you. It also builds, because eventually you may be able to collaborate and you've already built that relationship. Instagram's fantastic for that. And just like that, so is Twitter in a similar way. Best piece of advice for Twitter is, imagine it's a dinner party, okay? You're at a dinner party. Now, Twitter is not a selling platform. And when I say selling, I mean just promoting. Now, a lot of bloggers just send out their blog posts and they just send it out and then put blog share, bloggers, blog as their hashtags. But wait a minute, their audience is not bloggers. Their audience are people, if it's my movie blog, will be people who are interested in movies or specific films. So that's who I need to be attracting. But we tend to stick to bloggers and blog share and all this because a couple people have liked it or retweeted it, but it's not going to our audience that we want it to do. So don't sell yourself short. It's a dinner party. So instead of going to a dinner party, and I've just written a post called Julia Roberts' Best Moments in Pretty Woman. So I'm on Twitter, the dinner party. I don't just come in and go, Julia Roberts is fantastic in Pretty Woman, and just hope people go, yeah, let's talk to that guy. What you do at a dinner party is you walk around and you find conversations that you may want to kind of jump into. Oh, they're talking about movies. Okay, I'm going to talk about movies because actually I'm connected to that. And eventually, actually, I've got a blog based on movies. Oh, that's how it happens. And then you give someone your metaphorical card because you're talking about movies, you build that relationship. With Twitter, like Google, you can type almost anything into the search bar and find a conversation about it. You can have permission to just jump into that conversation. If they didn't want you to do it, then they'd be on private profiles. And as long as you're not spamming and you're adding value and joining the conversation, it's a brilliant way of building a community around your blog. And then the other thing with Twitter is it's a good idea to not necessarily start off with a Twitter profile around your blog. Instead, have a Twitter profile built around yourself and your personality, because people connect with people. It's a business trick, it's a blogging trick. People buy from people. So if you're a faceless blog, people aren't necessarily going to go, oh, I'm going to see what's going on. But if you're an actual person, people engage with you and have a conversation with you. It's a really easy trick to do. But it also, when you do post about your blog, people will see the person behind it and are more likely to click it because it doesn't seem so much like a sales pitch. Okay, Twitter's fantastic and such an underrated tool when it comes to promoting your blog. Just don't always sing about your blog. Talk about the subject, become an authority, and add value to people's and fans' lives. That's how you do it, and it's such an easy and a much fun way of promoting your blog. Let's go to Facebook. Okay, Facebook like pages, because they're tough. You get 25 people who you've just invited for your friends list, your friends and your family. Some of them aren't even interested in the subject you're talking to and they're just doing it just because they're supporting you, which is nice, I guess. But how do you build a Facebook like page? Now, you could pay for Facebook ads, I guess, but we don't want to do that. you need, for every blog post that you write, if there's a topic in there, you need to find Facebook groups based around that topic. So you're probably already a part of Facebook blogging groups, and if you're not, join them. There's some great ones out there. So if I'm talking about movies, I will join movie Facebook groups. If I'm talking about this director, then I'll join 90s movies Facebook groups, and I start having conversations. Now, with a Facebook like page, a lot of groups you can join as your page. Okay, it's very important this. So when you're joining as a page and then you're joining conversations, if people like what they hear, they're going to click to your page and then they're going to like or follow or check out your blogs. So this is the easiest way to build in whatever niche you're in. Just find something, and you don't have to be so specific. If you're health and well-being, yeah, you can join health and well-being groups, but if you really knuckle down and go into a niche, there'll be a group about that specific niche. There may only be 40 members or 50 members or 60 members or 400 members or 1,000 members, but every person is an audience. So when it comes to marketing, especially on social media, these are your free tools. It's just about learning to do it correctly. So we've covered a lot there, and there's two things I just want to speak to you before we end. Now the first one is about courses, okay? I have nothing against courses. The only problem with courses are they seem to promise a glamorous life in a short amount of time. There is no way as a blogger you can create success in such a short amount of time. I'm not saying they're all scams, because they're not, and there's some amazing people who create courses, and my favourite, Pat Flynn, I've never done his course, but amazing information. But they promise this dreamland of not working, which is achievable, but they make it seem like it's achievable tomorrow, and that's not the case, especially in a lot of kind of niche down places. You need patience. If you always look at learning, if you're patient and you look at your analytics, which tells you which pages people are going on to, or what people like, or how long they spend on those pages, if you notice someone doesn't spend that amount of time, too much time on your page, you know to edit in the future. Maybe your intro's too long or something like that. But courses aren't always the way to go. If you've got the money, and I literally mean lying around, go for it. But if you don't spend money you don't have on courses that may not be able to deliver, regardless of what they say. And the final thing is just be careful, okay? I know courses is one thing, but there's a lot of hate on the internet and stuff like that. It's never personal. I'm not saying you'll get that. I've never really got any hate, but the internet is such a different place than how we imagine. So stick to the positivity. Don't worry about the negativity. Be patient, work hard, and you will be successful. Okay, let's do monetization. Let's get into this. So, you want to make money from your blog. We've already talked about patience, and it doesn't always happen tomorrow. As long as you know that, then it's going to be okay, because I'm going to tell you 4 ways in which you can make money. First one, and the one I hate. So actually, don't even bother with this, but you're going to want to know about it because you've already read up on it, is AdSense. Google AdSense. Now, the reason why I don't like this is because it takes too long to get there, and when you do qualify for AdSense, you're not making any real money. So your page looks a bit rubbish, and you're not making that much money. But people like it because they make 36 cents or 36p one day, and they think they're going to make it. It is hard, and until you're bigger, I would say just stay away from AdSense. There is a way of making money if you qualify, and Google say if you qualify or not. An easy way, and a way you can start as soon as possible, is affiliate marketing. And affiliate marketing is joining a program from a company. So Amazon have Amazon Associates, for example, where you could get any of their products and it'll give you a custom link which you can put in your page, and if anyone clicks on that and then buys a product, you get the money. Not only do you get the money, if they buy anything else and they fill up their basket, you get the commission on that. I said the money, I mean commission. Commission is very small on Amazon, but there's other ones. I use Awin, for example, but there's lots of different programs. Just go on Google and type in affiliate programs and you'll get a huge list. If you can think of a mainstream shop or supplier, you will have an affiliate for that. You can even get for energy suppliers, for travel, for tourism, for products, for almost anything, financial products, for courses, even though I spoke about them earlier. They're everywhere. I've used affiliate programs and it makes me money. I've done it through my health and wellbeing blog. I was selling Fitbits. Fantastic, because they're quite a higher priced item. I've done it through tickets, and I've done it through so many different things. And the beauty of it is, once your page is all SEO'd and keyword research and going on Google, is you can leave that and it'll start making money when you don't even know it's still going. It's fantastic. If you create some good content and leave it, then you can make some money in your sleep. But, disclaimer, don't create content just for affiliate marketing. If you really want to succeed with affiliate marketing, create brilliant content and put affiliate links into the content where necessary. Don't go, I'm going to just talk about Fitbit watches now. I have done both, and it's always successful to talk about something passionately and factually because you want to talk about it and people buy into that and take a look and they'll click on that. I, with the Fitbit example, spoke about how much it helped me and how much it helped me by tracking everything and how it holds me accountable and it gets clicks. And then separate from that, I also then did a review which was actually less successful than just talking about it honestly. And then we got sponsorships and partners. And these are ones when your blog grows to a certain scale, and it doesn't have to be huge, it just depends on your niche, you could start reaching out to people and offering advertising space or blog posts or anything like that for a certain amount of money. And that's how bloggers make their money. They do it through Facebook posts or social media, but they could also do it through blogging posts. So you can sell your service as a blogger and write a sponsored blog post. You can also do partnership work. You can also look at how you can expand your blog using companies. And depending on your niche, it's depending on who you want to get as a partner or sponsor. So if your niche is really drilled down, don't go for the big guys, go for people just slightly at a similar level to you, maybe ones that you can actually help and offer value to at a good price. But you need to do the hard work on that one. You need to contact people and tell them what you can do for them. They don't care so much about what you write about, or it doesn't matter. They only want to know how you can help them and how much it will cost. So make sure when you're pitching to people, you are writing it like that, because if you can support them and offer them value, then they're more likely to spend money with you. And the final one, and this is actually a game changer, I'm sorry, but it is, because no one is doing this enough. The smart people are doing this and everyone else is still on affiliates, okay? When you've created a blog around a niche, you now have authority in that subject. So in your local area, you can now go out and create an event around your niche, and it will link to your website and you can start making money. So it could be a series of talks by people in the health and fitness industry. It doesn't have to be people who are the biggest in the world. It could just be local people in gyms and personal trainers giving tips about what people can do at home to help lose weight, for example. If it's movies, it could be movie nights in pubs and restaurants on their quieter nights. You can build and sell tickets for events based around your niche. it is a game changer because more people are likely to do that, and you're going to get a better return when you're first starting out. It also helps build up a community. It gets people coming to your blog and going on social media, but also it creates new marketing material. So imagine having a seminar by people in the fitness industry, and then you can put that on Facebook, clips of it about how well it is, and you start off small, or you may even want to start off with a free event, and then the next one you charge for, and you can make some solid money by doing that once a month, every couple of months, whatever you want to do. But that is the quickest way, and the way not enough people do. Successful people do it that way. There was someone who is a photography blogger, and to speed things up, he decided to offer photography classes, £20 a place, 20 places, an hour in a pub. And people bought it. So think bigger than your blog, because you get to grow your authority by creating events, but you also get to generate income. There we are. We're there. Thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this video. I hope it helps at least one person. If it does, brilliant. Please talk to me in the comments. Let me know how it was, or anything else you'd like to know. Let me know where your blog is. I'll come over and have a look. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. You know where I'm pointing again. Subscribe, and please stay safe. Happy blogging. Take care. Have a good evening, or morning, or even afternoon.